We have arrived at Centum station in Busan. And you can take this elevator up. I think it's the exit, and we have to either insert or tap. Exit 12. 12? Where? Exit 12 is that way, so you have to go out first. So then you just tap your QR code to this, and you just leave. Yep, that's how it works. And now we're here somewhere, and we exit this way. And so if you read the sign, it says Shinsegae department store. That's where we're going, the Shinsegae department store. It's also in Chinese, the largest department store in the world. So here with this ticket, I don't think you don't insert the ticket. I guess you just throw this away. It doesn't, the machine doesn't take it. Like in other places, like it just literally eats it up. Here you just discard it. I guess you can throw it away. Although there are very few trash cans here in Korea. And the department store, Shinsegae, is connected directly to the subway station. We can enter right here. Oops. So we're just I'm kind of hanging out here in front of the mall before we enter. There's like a lot of clothing here, and they're having a little sale, something or other. And I'm getting about a 300 meg public Wi-Fi internet connection. When you're taking the subway, internet connection is sort of spotty because you're underground and kind of comes in and out. And I noticed there was an Indian woman who boarded, and she could speak pretty good Korean. And she gave her seat to an older man, and she asked him, she called out to him and said, "Harabaji, harabaji," meaning grandfather, would you like to take my seat? And he said, no, it's okay, I'm getting off pretty soon. And she said, no, please sit down here. And he asked her, where are you stopping at? And she said something about something or other. And then he said, oh, you're much further away than I am. And she said, no, it's okay, please sit down. And then he said thank you and sat down. So that was nice of her. And she could speak Korean pretty good. Centum City Mall as we enter from the subway station. There's a lot of pop-up stores. Pop Mart, Hello Busan, the Monsters. So these little toys, figurines, are from China, and they're like super popular everywhere, called Labubu. And they're somehow invented by or created by an artist in China. Here's another Korean brand called EMIS. They're famous for hats. I don't know why, but they are. And these hats are like 49,000 Korean won, so they're about $45 US. So this brand, EMIS, stands for Every Moment is Special, and apparently became famous in 2019 because Blackpink and BTS members started wearing it. I think that's what I've heard. I think there's like a fashion trend going on in Korea, or with Korean young people and women and girls, where hats are very popular now. That's why you see a lot of young Asian girls and Koreans wearing hats. Always wearing hats. It's like a trend right now. Hats. Here's a Harley Davidson clothing store, but look at this logo. I've never seen it emptied out with just the framing or just the outline without the wording in it. I've never seen that before. See the title right there? The framing. Here's a cute little cafe where they serve lots of green matcha, bori, coffee or latte. Bori is a type of oat, I think, Korean oats, something like that. And then suddenly you enter a room and you see this called hyperspace. I'm not sure what it's about, what they're trying to convey or educate you on. But it's a lighting effect. It's kind of cool. And there's starlight lighting all over the ceiling, the ground, the walls. And then over there there's an entrance to another section of the mall. This is Paul Besset, another cafe chain, coffee shop, high-end. It's supposed to be high-end. And then here's a bookstore, YP Books. I'm not sure how this is the largest mall in the world. It doesn't appear so from what I've seen so far. There's got to be more to this mall than what I'm seeing or have seen so far. Here's a Tesla showroom. And here's the Optimus. I don't know if I'm allowed to touch it or not. It's just plastic. It's just a replica. It's not real, of course. The Onitsuka Tiger brand of shoes from Japan. That was the original brand that Nike was distributing in the US when they first started off. They were a distributor of that particular brand of shoes, and then later on they started to manufacture their own. They wanted Onitsuka to make their shoes, manufacture the shoes for them under their brand name Nike, and then later on they went to China. But they were originally a distributor. So this floor is all restaurants. There's Outback Steakhouse, Thai restaurants, barbecue, a lot of Korean, American, Japanese. I'm still trying to figure out how this is the biggest mall. It doesn't feel big. Maybe there's a second building that's attached that we haven't seen yet. And there's a few more floors we can go on. I think we're on the 6th floor, and the floors go up to like 10. So we just walked out of those doors where all the restaurants were, and then we come into this balcony area, and then we see the sign that says the world's largest department store, Shinsegae Centum City. You can see all those condos, office buildings, city. And then across on this side you see a bunch of other condos. More condos. So maybe that's another building with more malls, more shopping. Let's take a look. Not sure what's going on over there. I think they're having some kind of a Busan Film Festival this weekend or this whole week. I see some signs that says BIFF. Alright, so we walk into this building and we see another world of stores. Yeah, these two buildings that we've been in now has 9 floors, and then basements up to 5 basement levels. And it looks like this place even has an ice rink. There aren't a lot of tourists here or foreigners in Busan, and even in this mall I don't see many of them. Nothing compared to what you would see in Bangkok or other Southeast Asian countries. Here's the ice rink. A lot of kids. Here's another wing of the mall, and I mean the mall is sort of spread out into a lot of little rooms, you could say, sections. So it's it's difficult to get a feel for how big this place really is, or how many stores they really have, because it's so spread out and it's got so many different wings and sections. You can't see it all in one spot. On this floor, you can see some of the higher end European brands like Gucci, Burberry, Bottega Veneta, Louis Vuitton, Dior. There's even Chanel on the lower floor. Zegna. Here they combine watching a movie with eating. So I guess you could eat and watch a movie at the same time, called Cine de Chef. I think that's what this is. Okay. Oh yeah. And then on this floor, there's a regular movie theater, the Korean chain CGV. And there's a whatever amusement place next to it. Oh, there's a coffee bean over there. We're gonna try the Jeju Matcha ice cream latte. So that's not something you would find on any menu. It's very unusual. So we'll try that here at the Paul Bassett coffee shop, which is considered to be a high-end coffee shop here in Korea. This is the Jeju green tea matcha latte. Oh no, just that. Oh, I thought a latte. Just an ice cream, I guess. This is about $5 for this. $5. And this is considered to be an expensive drink, but actually, compared to US prices, it's very reasonable. I see a lot of parents here in Korea with kids. You would think that you wouldn't know that Korea had a birth rate problem. There's so many parents with children. And this is the vanilla bean latte. It's about $5.30 US. Yeah, when you're in Busan or Seoul or even Gyeongju, it's not that much different than being in the West or in the US, except everything is just cleaner. Stores are prettier, they're nicer, they're better quality, the food is less expensive. You get more for less, you get a better value. The public transportation is better. There's no litter or trash on the floor. You feel safer. You're not constantly looking around you for danger. There aren't people looking. There aren't thuggy looking people around. You know. They have a strange rule here in this particular cafe, and maybe other cafes in Korea, where if you order coffee with a takeaway cup, then you have to leave. You can't sit. They don't allow you to sit in the cafe. Like, for example, we ordered originally the takeaway cup. Then the girl said, oh, you have to change the cup. So they came in and she changed the cup for us to this plastic cup. Don't understand that at all. What's the point? It seems pretty ridiculous. Why do they have to change the cup? They throw away the other cup, and now they're gonna waste. Now they're gonna wash this cup later on. Why they enforce a silly rule? It's a technicality. It's weird. And then in the other coffee shop, last night, they only allow 2 people to sit in the coffee shop if you order 2 cups of coffee. So if you only order 1 cup of coffee, then you're not allowed to sit in the coffee shop if you have 2 people there. And so many cafes in Korea seem to strictly enforce like a kind of a, I don't know, gray rule, kind of an odd rule that's made. It's kind of awkward. Where they force everyone to have a cup of coffee. And then the appropriate type of cup, whether it's takeaway or non-takeaway. Yeah, I think the way, and so we're just sitting there drinking a cup of coffee, and then the young lady barista working behind the counter starts wildly waving her hand and saying, take away, take away. Man, I thought that was like some kind of emergency. And then she came over to our table and said, oh, this is a takeaway cup or something like that, saying, she said, can I change the cup for you? You want to stay here? You want to sit here? Okay, can I change the cup for you? I go, yeah, sure. So she changed the cup. But it was just so bizarre. Why did they feel the need to implement such a silly rule? They already gave us a takeaway cup. Who cares if I'm sitting there? Now they're gonna waste the cup and waste another plastic cup and dirty that cup and create another article that they have to wash. But the fact that she was like kind of like seemed panicking, like she was panicking that we were drinking and sitting at a table with a takeaway cup was pretty bizarre. So we're going to the subway station to get to our next destination, which is going to be towards the temple near the ocean in Busan. So as going back to the topic of the whole single-use cup at the cafe, it seems like there seems to be a city ordinance, or used to be a city ordinance or a law, that if you're going to stay in a cafe, the law was that you had to get a regular cup, and if you're going to take it to go, then you get a to-go cup and you have to leave. I guess this was the city's way of trying to reduce waste. And maybe that explains why the barista, the girl working there, seemed to be kind of in a panic mode when she saw that we were sitting at the cafe with a to-go cup. Although I still feel the reaction was a bit overblown, like kind of a bit too much. We're going towards Changsan subway station, which is the end of the green line here. They have multiple colors. They have green, red, and other kind of colors that go in different directions. Okay, we're exiting the subway to the street. We're not sure if this is the right way or not, or where exactly it's going to take us, but here we go. Alright, so we're above ground again, outside of Changsan Station. And I see a lot of cabs here, which is good. We'll take one of these cabs, I think. And we are at the end of another part of Busan, the end of Busan. The other side of Busan. And this is how it looks over here. Taking it all in. Alright.